my 5 biggest USA culture shocks from a Spanish perspective. Really curious to see what we got in this video. Before we do get into this, I appreciate if you guys can hit that subscribe button. Let's just straight to see what we got.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be making a video that is really fun, but before I start, you guys probably read the title and then you probably heard my accent, and if you don't know about my background from other videos, then you're probably wondering why I'm making a video about culture shock in the US when I have an American accent. So basically...
Okay, yo, I was just baffled until she said that. Like, I didn't even realize. She don't even sound Spanish, she sounds American.
My mom is American.
Okay.
And I was born in the US. However, my dad is Spanish, and so when I was 2 months old, we moved to Spain. And I lived in Spain my entire life. I went to school there.
How is that American accent so strong?
And then about 2.5 years ago, I moved to the US to do my master's and to work. That brings us to today. And
wait, why does she sound... You'd think she would have a Spanish accent though, no? So she's been in America for 2 years. What? Probably because her mom was American talking around her.
After 2.5 years in the US, there are a lot of things that have shocked me.
Okay.
Some in a good way, some in a bad way, some in just a funny way. But regardless of that, I decided it would be fun to make a video about some of the things that surprised me. Disclaimer before I start telling you guys about my culture shock. This is my experience in Washington State, in Seattle specifically.
Right.
And so I know that around the country there are many different mini cultures, I would call them. I lived in Utah for 4 months during an internship, and I felt...
Listen, from what I've learned from watching American videos, man, America's that big. It's different everywhere, man. It's 50 different countries in one, bro. I'm telling you.
Like, I could understand their culture a lot more than I can understand the Seattle culture, because I felt like Utah, I think because of the religion, they're more family oriented, which is a lot more similar to Spain. So yeah, I totally understand if somebody else did not have the same experiences that I did. This is my experience in Seattle, Washington.
Give it
so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so culture shock number 1. What shocked me the most about the US was the fact that strangers talk to each other as if they'd known each other for a long time.
Yo, I hear this. Whenever I hear about Europeans going to America, they're always shocked when, like, strangers are talking on a personal level, or just even talking to them in general. Because, like, yo, you Americans will be surprised when you come to the UK. Strangers don't talk to people, bro. I genuinely can't remember the last time a stranger randomly came up to me and had a conversation. I can't remember it.
So, for example...
Unless it's like the delivery man or something, right?
The fact that at the supermarket, the cashier has to ask me about my day, or about my weekend plans, or about my summer plans. Personally, I feel like that is extremely personal, and I don't like to answer that type of question. I usually just keep my answer very brief, and I don't tell them much. But I have been a witness to people in front of me responding to that question, Americans, and they tend to get very personal and start telling a lot of details about their life or their day, which I feel is just weird. And to be honest, what's funny about this culture...
I wouldn't really say it's weird. Right? Personal preference, you know what I mean? Hey, it's always good to, like, just speak to people and get stuff off your chest. You never know. Like, if they don't mind it, right? In the UK, no one's gonna want to do that, bro. Like, if someone says to you in the UK, oh, how you been? If you start telling them a speech, they're gonna lose their mind, dude. But, yo, I got a question. You know, like, because you just mentioned supermarkets, right? You know, if you're in a supermarket, yeah, and you're in the queue, are the queues long because, like, people just having full-on conversations? Wouldn't that get a little bit annoying, like the long queue? Or do they know, like, when the shopping's, you know, been served and stuff, you gotta go?
Culture shock is that I actually watched my mom throughout my whole childhood do this, and my sisters and I always felt really embarrassed about it. Like, she would just start talking to everybody as if she were friends with them, and I thought that was her personality. And then I came to the US and I realized that there are a lot more people like that here that do the same thing. So I realized it's a culture thing. And so where do I think this comes from? I feel like in the US, relationships are less deep and less permanent than they are in Spain. In Spain, you have the same exact classmates throughout your entire years of middle school.
Wait,
and
do you know in America?
Those are the names. Like basically, I don't know what the names are, but between the age of 6 and the age of 18, you have the same classmates. So just imagine having the same classmates throughout your entire first 18 years. They become family. Whereas in the US, children don't have the same classmates. Every class they go somewhere else, they have different classmates, and so they mix a lot and they meet a lot of people.
You know what though? I think that's a better way to do things. Because I don't know if this is just me I don't know, from like media or whatever, right? But me knowing British people and me knowing a few Americans, right? I feel like you guys are more confident and engaging with like random other people. Whereas I feel like British people are more like shy and keeping themselves to themselves. So I think it's a better way to do that because you make people more confident in expressing themselves and stuff like that, right?
Learn
I bet that's better.
To easily make new friends and easily open up to new people because they have to, because they know that they have to continue making new friends. So point number 2, culture shock number 2. In a way, this is kind of also related to number 1, but that is the fact that strangers give me opinions about my outfit. I mean, usually positive ones, right? But people have to tell me that they like my clothes or like my glasses. They just have to. They can't help it. It's just so funny. How many times I've been to Starbucks. This has happened like 3 or 4 times at Starbucks. Different Starbucks where people, like the person serving me told me that they like my glasses. And then just the other day I went hiking and I was wearing this jacket that I really like. It's from Elitha. And I had, again, 3 people compliment me on the jacket. And
you know what? That's a confidence builder, bro. We need that over here. Bro, I've never been complimented by a stranger, dude. The only people that will compliment me on like a piece of clothing or something is either a friend or family. That's it. I don't think I've ever had maybe I'm just like badly dressed. But I've never had a stranger come up and be like, yo, I like your jacket, man. Ever.
I can tell you that when I was in Spain, in my whole 21 years that I was living in Spain.
No one.
Not once in my life did I get a compliment on my clothes or on my anything.
That must be nice though.
From a stranger. Never. In Spain, we do compliment our friends. So it's all within the group of friends and family. But outside of that, you just don't talk to people.
You know what? Like, that's the same for like even me. Right? If I see somebody wearing something nice, I'll never go up to them and say, that's nice. I'll just look at it and be like, in my head, that's nice. Bro, honestly, it must just be a confidence thing. And this is why I think it's like, you guys got a good way of going about it. Because you guys must feel better on a day-to-day basis. No wonder everyone's miserable in the UK. Maybe if we start dishing out compliments, we might be not miserable anymore.
You just don't have any deep conversation, and you don't tell people that you like their clothes, or you don't ask them where they got their clothes. It's just completely unheard of, and that was something that really shocked me in the US. So next point is 3, and this one is related to food. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are curious about the food differences, and I mean, there are a lot of differences that I have noticed, but in the US, there are no fixed meal hours. So I feel like people eat whenever, people eat wherever, people eat however, like they'll stand, sit, work, whatever. They'll eat while they're doing something else.
Wait, what do you mean meal hours? Who has meal hours? You telling me the whole of Spain eat at the same time? Huh?
And they don't eat with people. Like, a lot of times, one thing that really surprised me was when I started work, and people would eat while they were working. Like, they wouldn't even take a break to eat. In contrast to that.
Wait, I've heard this about Americans. You guys are workaholics, man. I've heard this. You guys will work through your breaks. You guys will eat through your breaks. You guys will, like, not even take holiday and stuff like that. Yeah, you guys are... No wonder you're the leading G, P, D, E, F, G, H... bro, whatever it is, right? The economy, dude. No wonder you guys are the richest, bro.
Let's, for example, talk about when I was living at my grandma's house. Lunch was ready at 2 p.m. sharp. And if lunch was going to be ready before that, my grandma would have to come and tell me and ask me if I was okay with eating lunch before.
Oh,
and
really?
if lunch was going to happen after that, she would come and apologize. And then my grandpa would go and sit in the kitchen while he was waiting for his food to kind of give my grandma pressure. So, yeah. Lunch was at 2 p.m. sharp, and we all had to sit together. And if I was...
Yo, in England, my life is different to Spanish. And I don't know about other people in England, But I never had a time, bro. Lunch was it whenever lunch was it.
Not going to be there for lunch. I had to let my grandma know beforehand. Another thing that was funny when I was in Spain was how at university, I knew that if I went to the canteen at 2 p.m. to eat, because by the way, you haven't noticed by now, we eat lunch at 2 p.m. in Spain. If I went there at 2 p.m., there was a humongous line of people because everybody got there at 2 p.m. But if I got to the canteen at 1:30 to get my lunch, there was nobody and I could just be the first one.
Hey, just go there every time then. Wait. In Spain, I feel like I'm learning a lot about Spain here. In Spain then, what time does school end if they eat lunch at 2 p.m.? Because in the UK, school ends at 3 p.m. So why would you eat lunch and then an hour later, you just go home?
The way that we do it in Spain, that's one of the things that I miss. I feel like in Spain, food is a time to spend time with your family and friends and to talk.
Okay.
And so, yeah. So now moving to point number 4. This one is about...
Oh, I'm a lot different to her then. I don't like talking when eating. I don't know about you guys. But when I've got my food, I just want to watch something on the TV and eat. I don't want to talk. I don't want to have to eat. I've got food in my mouth and then talk. And you know what I mean? Just let me eat in peace. I'm eating away or watching something, dude, in peace, but I don't want to be talking.
Talk. And so, yeah. So now moving to point number 4. This one is about fashion. So first of all, let's start with the kids. So in Spain, parents tend to dress their kids in a very specific way. And I'll put some pictures around here on how people dress their kids.
Okay.
And then also, parents tend to dress all of their kids the same. So say they have boys and girls, they will dress them with the same patterns, just different outfits. And like the girl will wear dress, boy will wear pants. So what I saw in the US is that parents allow their kids to dress how they want. So a lot of times you'll see kids wearing tutus and princess dresses and dinosaur costumes and basically whatever they want. And that is definitely not something that you see in Spain. In Spain, kids can wear whatever they want at home, but once they go out, they have to follow the rules. I understand.
Okay, the UK is more like American then. Like, kids will just be wearing anything. Like, yeah, people dress their kids in, like, cute outfits and stuff like that. That looks, you know, smart and presentable, whatever, right? But then you'll see kids just being kids.
And that the US has a different type of mentality. I feel like in the US, people feel like being unique is important and that is what is praised. And honestly, I really appreciate that, to be honest, because it allows all types of people to find a place in this country versus in Spain where you have to fit into this specific cookie cutter like shape, and if you don't, people will question why you're different.
Yo, being different is definitely better, bro. I definitely like America's view on that. Is being unique and different, express yourself. Why do you want to be like someone else? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're you, bro. You know what I mean? You're different to other people. Why do you want to be like other people, bro?
So yeah, that I definitely appreciate that from the US. But it was hard for me at the beginning, and it still is hard for me because I would never let my kids dress however they want or do their hair however they want or any of that. One thing that shocked me a lot in the US was seeing people dress in gym clothes to go shopping, to go to university, to go wherever. Like, they just wear their, not gym clothes, but their leggings, their gym leggings. They'll wear them everywhere. And I get that they're comfortable. And actually, to be honest, I've kind of been converted and I've done that many times as well. But it's something that you just don't do in Spain. Okay.
Right, some people do that in the UK, but not a lot, right? But I've heard this a lot about America to the point where, like, is everyone doing that? Like, people that don't even go gym, they just wearing gym clothes out?
Okay, last point. And this is probably one of the things that I like the most about the US. As much as I complain about some things about the culture and some things I'm just never going to get used to.
Okay.
But this is something that I love, and that is the efficiency of systems. It's very difficult to deal with any type of organization system in Spain, especially when it's public. So like getting government documents renewed, getting any document from the university. A lot of times you'll wait in lines for a long time only to figure out that you're missing a certain document and that they refuse to go search it up in their system even though they have it in the system. In the US, on the other hand, everything is extremely efficient. And just the way things are set up, they're so efficient, they work so well. And I think the reason for this is the fact that Americans have this mindset of constantly wanting to be better. Every time something seems to not be working. Every time something breaks, every time something bad happens, like say someone slips down the stairs, immediately everybody will start thinking about how could we have avoided this, and then something is actually done to make sure that doesn't happen again. I feel like that's just the reason why
Hey, do you know what my favorite thing? I've said this in loads of videos before, but how optimistic Americans are as well. That's honestly, that might be my personal favorite thing about America. One of them. There's many other, including food and stuff like that. But how optimistic you guys are, I absolutely love that, bro. I love it, dude.
Americans are so ahead in a lot of ways from other countries, and that is because they are constantly questioning their system, trying to change it and make it better, and yeah. So
that's cool, though.
That is it for my 5 points.
Very interesting to see your 5 biggest USA culture shocks. I found a few of them really interesting. Let me know what you guys think to them in the comment section, what you guys have to say. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out over there, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.